Drop it.
And what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy weekend. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. How did I start my stream without a coffee, guys? Oh no. Oh no. Huh. Oh no. Okay. Guess I'll be miserable this stream. All right, guys. The stream is going to be a little bit different. I really don't want to talk to you guys, actually. I don't think the format, as far as like live streaming and showing what this would do, I don't think it works well answering your questions, and it really doesn't. I'd rather just show you, right, instead of like sitting there catching up, right? So everybody, roll call. How you doing? Good morning. Glad we're going to go through your names. It's the usual suspects right here. Okay. We're going to get right to it. A lot of you guys, if you got stopped out, it was you were using the wrong thing. Okay, so let's talk about it really quick. All right, boom. Here we go. We're looking at NQ. Now, if you were using the trade design for NQ, well, okay. Anybody understand? No. You know what? As I said, no questions. Let's get right to it. John, how you doing? Good morning. All right, guys, back to the chart here. The reason why everybody was getting stopped out with NQ was because the trade design was using pre-market ATR before the market opened. So the risk box was much tighter than what it needs to be at open. Again, volatility increases at open. So maybe a little trick that you could do is maybe go on over to a larger time frame and see if there's a trade design that happens a little later. I don't know. Maybe we could check out what happened on a 3-minute. Did we get a trade design in a 3-minute somewhere? No, still pre-market, right? So then, guys, what happens here is you have to go on historical values. Historical values, right? NQ is going to move the way NQ moves. ES is going to move the way ES moves. Wait, the title of this video is how to trade ES. We're going to get to that in a second. It's also going to help you make more money, okay? It's going to help you make more money and pay less in fees. So, guys, let's take a look at this. I'm going to turn on my trend stats here. This here, turn it on here. All right, so with NQ, since January, we win 73% of the trades. We make about $264,000 bullish and $269,000 bearish, right? So we can assume that with MNQ, it's pretty much the same except a tenth of it, right? It's a tenth of it. So because it's a tenth of the size. So 26,426 on the bullish side and 27,004,135 on the bearish side, winning 74% of the trades. Okay, guys, let's consider something here. Okay. One MNQ making you 50K using the system is more than you all fucking deserve, honestly. But, you know, no one gets into trading thinking like, hey, yeah, I just want to make steady 401k income. No one does that. Everyone wants to get rich. Okay, so if you want to get rich, I have to show you the numbers and show you the math here. So 74% win rate with MNQ. Hey, that's great. 26,000 one way bullish. 27,000. So you're about 53,000 since January on one MEQ. Not bad. Now, how many of you trade MEQ, but maybe about 5 contracts? I'm not going to sit here and wait for answers. We're just going to see that answer populated in the comment section. About 5 MEQ contracts. Who does that? Well, when you do that, right, you're paying fees on 5 MQ contracts. Let's talk about what 5 MQ really is, because with MNQ, 5 MNQ here will get you just shy of 132,000, bullish, 135,000, bearish, somewhere there, right? That's 5 MNQ. Now, if we go to ES, we make slightly more money with just one contract. So, but the S is 149,000 one way and $155,000 the other way, right? Bullish and bearish. So one ES is slightly better than 5 MNQ, which means psychologically, I feel like when you're entering with just one contract, you feel calmer as opposed to 5, right? This is all psychological. Even though you're an MQ, you see 5 contracts, you're like, damn. With the S, it's just one contract. You're like, okay, maybe this could work, right? This is all about calming emotions, right? And introducing you guys to the stats, to proper stats, so that you can trade confidently. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Um, I feel like I got some flickering in the background there. Anyways, so we understand that now, right? And so when someone makes up the argument that, I make more money with MNQ, well, this is true because the stats show that one MNQ is going to make you about 260 one way or over 500K total. Whereas ES is going to make you about 300K. Okay. So there's a significant difference. However, just in the same way you're going to make money, you're going to lose money, right? So yes, with MNQ, you're going to make more money, or excuse me, NQ, you're going to make more money, but you also expose yourself to losing more money just because of the volatility and the way it works. Okay. All right. So we got that out of the way here. Now ES is bullish here, and I'm going to trust my system here. Now, guys, the previous trade design was, yeah, you were going to get wicked out, right? You see the difference here with this trade design up. You got a proper risk box here, right? You got a proper 1-to-1, 2-to-1. Now, the question I get asked a lot is, where do I enter if I'm late to the trade? Well, you would enter maybe on a breakable level here, right? Or you would wait for a slight retracement. I feel like, we see that ES has pretty much come all the way up to 5,682. And we can see like where it's been, where it's going, and we have confidence in this thing. I'll just go ahead and buy 2 contracts. Now, what I love about ES is just the ability to stay composed, right? Whereas NQ, you would have been beat up $100, down $100, up 50, down 75. It's doing that, right? With ES, it's much calmer. It is much calmer. I rather deal with being down $300 here, right, than with NQ. Okay. NQ will just be down 300, down 500, 600, right? If you're new to trading, you probably, I mean, you can test your cadence, right? But if you're new to trading, you probably want to try one ES versus maybe 5 MNQ, right? Like we showed, and see which one just feels or looks better to you. Because guys, it really is all about like, the profit side of it, right? So, some people are like, I get better trades with NQ, and it's only because it puts you in profit quicker. That's all that is, right? If you want to learn to be a trader and hold longer, okay, ES is a great tool to practice with. 100% a great instrument to practice with. So here, Yeah, just 2 contracts. I'm down 450. We go on to the NQ side of it. I'd be down twice as much, literally twice as much, right? So that's the beauty of this. 100% the beauty of, yes, it allows you to trade smaller, right? And calmer, more confidently. So we know where this trade is going, guys. What we're going to do is we're just going to hang out in this trade. Now, for those who are getting beat up by wicks, just make sure your trade design isn't a pre-market trade design. And also your DSR, if it gets you in later, pool, if you're using that as your risk pool, right? But if you get stopped out, you have to give yourself the grace to be able to jump back in, right? So that's why we say you trade small at the beginning, right? If you feel like you missed a trade and the trade is just, it seems to have moved on without you, trade really small. It's a very, very, very small allocation to get in, right? Until the trade has confirmed itself. Now, in this example here, I'm still holding. I'm not going to let this candle body like freak me out because I have no signal from my other indicators. And $675 is very, very, very tolerable, right? Much better than 1200, 1500 from NQ. But what this is going to do, guys, ES or even MES, right? If you're going to go smaller than even one ES, you can go 5 MESs. What it's going to do is it's going to allow your account to absorb drawdown while your thesis is being proved right. Does that make sense? Because it's smaller drawdown, it allows you to, just hold through that. Now, Gaetano said, why did you enter? I entered because everything says confluence, but there's actually a lesson to be had here, right? Now, the lesson, if anybody pays attention to what I do, right now, I'm just holding because my system's telling me to hold. That's really it. Now, if you're a timid trader, your risk is essentially the level here printed for you, right? That's your risk. I traded small, guys. This is 2 contracts. This is really, really nothing relative to my port. And I want you guys to learn to start trading with nothing relative to your port. And so now I have all the indications that, I'm wrong. I'm going to wait for that candle close here. It's telling me I'm wrong with this yellow. And I'm probably wrong upon the break of the 200 to the other side, right? Remember, we're using the 200 as our thesis. But if that's not happening, I could go ahead and just buy 2 more. And what this is going to do is going to make my escape route sooner. So I'm attempting to escape this trade, to be honest with you, right? And so that's where I will dollar cost average in. Again, I'm 4 contracts in. With ES, I can afford up to, based on my risk, guys, I don't know if you could see that there, but based on my risk, um, zoom in. Based on my risk, 43. 43 ES contract. So, yeah, it goes without saying that I'm trading really, really, really small relative to my risk, right? And so once again, what I've done here is kept my risk very, very tight, right? And allowed myself an escape route. Now, the way for this to work is always to trade smaller or less than your scheduled allocation. That's the only way this thing works, right? So if, it's saying, hey, buy 6 contracts, you enter with 1, right? This only works when you're not going full allocation, okay? Because for me, I'm still a tenth as big as what I would, normally trade this as, but I'm getting a feel for the trade. Okay. Now, what we said was we will wait for candle close, and we got the yellow here on this band. We didn't get the candle close yellow here on trend tracker, guys. By the way, this has been updated, so it's far more reliable. I really do trust it. And of course, we have the rule about the 200. As long as we're above the 200, we are bullish. And I could say, all right, well, it's struggling at this level, this very same level, which I established it as my risk. So what do I do? Well, I have to trust the system there. There you go. They're green here. Dun, da, da, right? And so I'm just holding. And what I'm going to do is, guys, I don't know. Let me go ahead and clear trend stats really quick so you can see. Let's zoom in a little bit. You guys will be able to see my P&L right there for contracts. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Up 350, up 400. Nothing again. For those who work blue collar jobs and maybe those who make about at or about 100K a year. I mean, if you really, really think about it, all you need is $400 or $500 a day, and you double that, right? So we're just gonna hang out here and see if that's something we could do, which is double our salary and be far more efficient. Now, I've been in this trade for 10, 15 minutes. Who's making 300 or even $250, $300 in 15 minutes, right? So for those professionals out there who want to learn to trade, awesome. This is probably a better option than, moonlighting as an Uber driver or DoorDash delivery boy, or maybe even taking a second job, third shift, right, fellas? You know what I'm talking about, right? Takes you away from your family, et cetera, et cetera, right? So that's what trading is about, right? Is allowing you to learn about being efficient as opposed to going ahead and saying, okay, well, I need to make a second job and work 8 more hours and just kill myself, right? That makes you highly inefficient. Unfortunately, in today's world, if you want to go ahead and keep your wife home, you need to make over 120,000 a year and or carry 2 jobs. It's just the way this works, right? And I am pro keep the wife at home. That's just me. I believe that that's the way things need to be done. We need to bring back old school, right? Not that yeah, I know it sounds so misogynist, yeah, sexist. No, it's that we need to bring back the core values. We got to make America great again. Anyways, so there was opportunity for me to be profitable here. Once again, I have the yellow box warning me. Okay. We got the 200 right there. So if you put yourself on a path to consistently make $200 or $300 additionally with 15 minutes worth of work, you do set yourself up for financial freedom. And so I'm just gonna call people out, right? If you have a subpar life, right, but you do not do extraordinary things to solve that subpar life, meaning you just sit on your ass playing victim about how life didn't give you a silver spoon, right? And then you think like, oh my God, all I got to do is trade, and this is easy. I see my buddy doing it. I'm gonna follow someone's alerts, yada yada yada. No, no, no. Right. Trading is for someone who understands that life is difficult because trading is difficult. Trading is not for someone who thinks it's just going to come to them and it's going to be easy. Remember, a lot of people come to trading because they failed at life. I was one of them. I came to trading because I felt like I failed at life. I wanted more. Okay. And so how do you become a winner? You become a winner by doing extraordinary things. And those extraordinary things are, being patient. Okay. Those extraordinary things are humbling yourself to being a student. Right? Those are extraordinary things. Anyways, enough of that rant. I really don't want this to be a rant, but clearly I'm still in this trade. So that's it. Oh, by the way, discipline is another thing. All one-on-ones, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be canceled. I have to head out to Chicago. So yeah, I'll be boarding a plane this afternoon. So all one-on-ones canceled, just so you know. Have to put it out there. Sorry, Peaky Blinder. By the way, Peaky Blinder, you're kicking ass, guys. Peaky's just absolutely kicking ass. I don't know, with his permission, I would show his stats. The man has come such a long way. I'm very, very, very proud of him. Also, shout outs to the members over at Gabe Trades. who really, really helped them turn a corner. And so I feel like Gabe Trades that's where the value comes from. Uh, Craving an Italian beef from Portillo's. Remember that at Portillo's here in Orlando, right? It doesn't taste the same though. I'll be honest, it just doesn't. But yeah, we got a Portillo's in Orlando and Claremont and Champa, I believe. But either way, it doesn't taste the same. I am looking forward to Baba Riba's one of my favorite like tapas places. Anyways, we're still in the trade here. Not going too crazy here. Chilling. Nothing to do. I could go ahead, right, as we're trending up and we're getting further and further away from the 200, right? We could draw that trend line up, right? I could say, okay, well, I could scale in maybe more. Let's scale in with 2 more contracts. Portillo's is not the same since they went public. Did they go public? Is that what they did? Is that what happened? Yeah, usually that's what happens, right? Get shareholders in there, and then it's just like, let's dilute the meat. Right? Or Giordano's, that's definitely somewhere I need to be. Definitely somewhere I need to be. Like literally. Yeah. And so yeah, Japan, good morning. Um Back to the trade here. Almost got sidetracked, y'all, right? We talking about food, and it's like, oh man. By the way, hot potato loves pizza. I gotta take him to Giordano's. Why do I keep slipping on that one? I'd rather have him come to Chicago and take him to Giordano's. Yeah, Stanley Buena Vista. Yeah. Commercial over there. The Disney crackheads. Get the fuck out of here. Like, seriously. Okay, down. We're down, and we're still bouncing off that 200. I need to see the break there, right? I just maintain my thesis. Oh, good tunnel. Okay, he works. Okay, by layer. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun on 294. That's for sure. I'm gonna have fun on 294. I gotta go south before I go north. I gotta go south. Um, South of Cermak. Ugh. Wow. Anybody near South Kedzie? Yeah, like 55th Street. It's Little Mexico over there. But it's sick of them. Okay, so back in this trade here, guys, and the system's telling me, right? The system's telling me, like, yeah, there's really nothing going on here, right? Right there at that 200. Now, this trade cost me this thing, right? It's a 200 right there. There you go. It's just, faith. And the 200 in the green candles. 55th is Cicero. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Defo. Oh, geez. I'm not going to assume anything, Defo, but I mean, have you been to Quinceañera recently? I mean, that's pretty much all it is over there. Um, let's see. And I have to close the trade. I legit have to close the trade. I'm gonna wait for Canada close here, right? But I'm getting ready to close this trade. It's that 200 right there we're expecting. Guys, you got to remember, it's you gotta wait for that candle close, right? There you go. These are rules. These are rules in your face. Ta-da! Literally, you gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. It's patience, right? What it looks like is we're stuck in a range with ES. We're stuck in a range here where you got the level there, then you got the 200 right there. That's the range, and then now the band's coming in and wants to, yeah, you got that range. Okay. So this is the beauty of trading, like small like this. Really trading small like this is you can go ahead and, you know, hedge it with other things. Can't do that with prop firms though. Prop firms don't let you hedge. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for the fun conversation about pizza, right? We're back up, we're green. It's yeah. Now where would I get out, right? Because I don't want to get caught holding the bag again. So of course everybody's got the question, where do I get out? So if a candle close here in the next 2 minutes, I cannot hold above this level, I will consider getting out manually, right? But there you go. Patience is pain. I'm trusting my system. We had the green candles. We used the 200 for our bias and conviction. We're still in this trade. There we go. We're green. Beautiful, right? How you guys liking this? How you guys liking this? 'Cause we're talking a trade out. Oh, Devil's been to 3 this year. Oh, wait. Dude, 3 already? Damn. Okay. Oh, man. There you go. Look at this, guys. Let's see. There we go. And you guys need to zoom in. Okay. So again, if this was NQ, okay. Let's go to NQ. All right. We got we got some bullishness here. NQ doesn't have a green candle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter NQ with the same number of contracts. So just go ahead and hit buy. Right. Now it's going to be a race. We're going to race this, right? We know that the general direction is bullish. We are going to race this. So go back to ES, or we're just going to hang out at ES. Now, Ryan, Ryan, dude, yeah, Ryan, this is why we limit your ability to communicate in the chats. And then Ryan went ahead and decided to start harassing the people in the free chat. Ryan, come on. The roll of 85 when you know it's clearly the roll of 84. And if you don't know, then don't make mentions of it. I think it just really confuses people. Right? I think you really get a kick out of that too, of confusing people. Anyways, it's the roll of 84. So the roll of 84 in this example, if you entered the trade here and got stopped out, let's say you entered the trade here and it comes down and then you get a continuation. Usually, guys, if you got stopped out here because you're protecting your entry, the rule says that when you get stopped out, then you get a re-entry right here at this line. You guys see that wick stops you out, then you get a re-entry. You get an 84% chance of making money. It's 84, right? So here we are, yeah, we're in ES and we're making money with ES. Let's go ahead and see what we're doing with NQ. right? NQ, I entered ways later, and I was up. I was up a great deal, right? Same number of contracts, I was up a great deal. No, I'm not. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, right. You're fine, man. I think you asked the community in the Discord, not in the chat, because this is more of a public stream. So yeah, I mean, technically what I did, guys, was just use my conviction in ES and knowing where ES was going, right? And exposing myself to very little risk with ES to then say, okay, well, thank you, ES. I know where the market's going now. I could then jump into NQ with some confidence. Does that make sense? Right? Because guys, we're up, baby. We're up big here. We're up 2K right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna short change the level there. I'm just gonna go ahead and be greedy. So cool. Damn it, you. See, this is what I mean, right? You go from up 1,000 to yeah, just trying to close a position, it won't let me. Jesus. But try to close a position, it wouldn't let me. Sons of bitches. Jesus, right? All right, let me go on over to ES here. Let me just take my profit. All right. But yeah, is that's what you can do. You can use ES to get a gauge of the market. And usually you'll find that ES and NQ can run in tandem. All right. Um And you guys saw that, right? With NQ, I'm up 1,000 and or almost two, and then it just comes right against me. With ES, with ES, guys, we're chilling. We're chilling. Life is good. We're not stressing anything. Okay. Now we see right here, there's a reaction to this level. I'll just go ahead and close that trade too. Done. Right? If you have a 100K account, that was 2% on your 100K account. Let's go to NQ. Let's see something with NQ. So NQ gave me opportunity to get all back. Right. I'll go ahead and I'll go long again. Right there. And I guess my goal is to make 2,800 on this too, right? But let's really pay attention. We're gonna zoom on in. Now while you're trading, especially if you got your dollar amounts out, your dollar amounts on, right? As you guys can see here. Well, what's happening here? Are you following the trade? Are you developing conviction, or does the volatility in these dollar amounts freak you out, right? Because it's happening so fast. Look at immediately, like we're almost up at 1,000, then it comes down, half of that, right? You don't need to expose your emotions to that type of volatility. Yes, everybody wants to make more money, but there's more risk in that. Do I know where NQ is going for the most part? Courtesy of ES. Do I still use PSAR candles? Mikey? No. If it's not on the chart, I don't use it. Okay, whoa, wait, hold up. You see, again, no one's complaining, right? We started the morning talking about how, you make $300, make 100K. I mean, we made 26 years. This was up as much as 1,000, and that's the whole thing. NQ can't really be trusted for that, right? At least if you have a small port or, you're new to trading, you see that, right? So a lot of you aren't losing trades because your thesis is wrong. You're losing trades because your emotions, yeah, your emotions just soul gets sucked out of you with that cue, right? And then it does this to you. All right. When you go ahead and get sucked in by that, right? Like the numbers, like we, right? All that's doing is conditioning you, right? To, oh, it's going to go up. Oh, it's going to go down. Oh, it's going to go up. Oh, it's going to go down. Oh, it's going to go up. Oh, it's going to go down. It's going to go up. No, it stays going down. It's going to go up, stays going down. Right? That's what NQs do to you. It's going up. Cool. I went from red to green, green to red, now back to green. It's once I break the 1,000, guys, I'm just gonna take it. Just there you go. I took it at $1,000. I really don't care at that point, right? Mikey, that's cool, man. If you're just curious, just if I'm not using it, it's not on the chart. I'm not using it. Anyways, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? You guys feel like you learned something today? We can calm down our trading by using ES as some like proving grounds. This is NQ. This is ES. Similar in scope. All right. ES is nicer, yes, but similar in scope. Go back to NQ. Right. Similar in scope. But what does NQ do? NQ is like, let me show the big dick energy right here. Right? NQ is like, you want to play with the big boys? Okay. Let's show some big dick energy here. Right? And of course, this trait design, because we don't have a new one, this trait design is still focused on the risk from pre-market. So your risk here, guys, it's literally 14 points. That's your risk. 14-point risk on NQ. You're gonna get stopped out left and right. Big wick energy, yeah. Big dick energy, but big wick energy. Anyways, guys, that's it. We made our money. We made our money. We're done. It's 11 a.m. If you made money, congrats. Want you all to go ahead and focus on controlling your emotions, focusing on the rules, using 200 as your bias, waiting for the close. And if you gotta slow it down, slow it down with the S, slow it down with the MES. Right? How do I like my Cadillac IQ? I love it. Everyone asks me, you guys done a 25? Like, Yeah, I don't know if we're at 26 yet. There's a 25. Like, yeah. I love it. It's spacious. It's calmed me down significantly. Guys, one of the things, and one of the things I had planned to do with my car fleet was start acting my age, if you will. Let's see. Year's 25. Yeah, I'll be 44 this year. So start acting my age. Um, get away from like, the supercar, high energy, cheap dopamine, 200 mile an hour on the 417 or even the I-4 expressway on the expressway. And you guys know, if you live in Central Florida, you know what those are. You know, long gone are the days of just choosing that dopamine. Yeah, we're traders, right? So we're type A personalities, every single one of us, right? Even though some of you are just like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it on YouTube. Um, but yeah, just chasing that dopamine. That I found myself doing that way too much. And Japan knows is to die for. One of the most dangerous highways in the country, or the most dangerous highway in the country. Just really thinking about like all of that and what it provided me. The rest of the reward wasn't there. Yeah, I don't do donuts on OBT now. I don't hang around peasants. Right? OBT, all you're gonna find is dudes in Honda Civics. Um, and just like import Japos. I don't do the peasantries. Now my fastest car um is my Tesla, my Plaid-S. Mikey, yeah, 30 miles an hour is faster than you think. My Plaid-S, I'm good with that. But even with my Plaid-S, it's just I drive my Tesla when I'm lazy and I want the thing to drive me. Sorry, Mara. Just I'm saying. Um, the guys with the racers and the tune nonsense and all that crap. Like, yeah, congrats, you got smaller tires, maybe a tune engine, better body to weight ratio, et cetera, et cetera. But you're gonna get slaughtered on the top end. You're gonna get slaughtered, right? You go will last for maybe a quarter mile. After that, you're just getting slaughtered. The Plaid-S is gonna destroy pretty much anything within a quarter mile period. So it's to exotics. The Tesla is a peasant to exotics, right? Because it gets to beat the first quarter mile. It's just like, I would say that Jap imports are peasants to, let's say, um, um, a proper sports car. Um, but yeah, Lambo, the Huracan. What I found with the Huracan, with owning that car was, it gave me more attention than I like. I'm really not an attention whore, but you get the cameras in your face. Like, so what do you do for a living? Or it's just like, I sell drugs. Right? The fuck you want me to say? It's like, seriously. And then it's you get the wrong type of attention. Um, yeah, the only proper sports car worth owning is an Aston Martin Vantage. Period. Period. And some would argue, okay, well, Mercedes GT, but I don't know. I feel like the Aston Martin Vantage is redesigned, by the way, is elegant, high performing, more than you need, right? But she's so beautiful. You just don't want to treat her like that hot chick, right? Hot chicks get no respect. They just don't. So you don't want to treat her like the Ferrari or the Lambo. It's elegant. Outside of that, going back to my question, I pretty much ride three things now. I ride my Cadillac IQ, my Silverado, my 1500, right? The 911, the 911 for different reasons. The 911 will have you defy physics in ways that like no other car you could ever imagine. And I mean, the Audi RE comes really, really close to that, except you do feel like it's a heavier car because it's a 10 cylinder sitting behind you as opposed to like, you know, a twin turbo V6. Um, and as far as like the vet, no, 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 no. I was not going to hold the bag on the vet. Got rid of it. The vet was fun. The vet was really, really fun. I'll probably snatch a Zora at some point, but again, I'm just not really yeah, it doesn't scream to me like it used to. Maybe it's also because I'm older and it's just like, fuck, getting in those cars as you get older just becomes more and more difficult. Oh man. Um, so I pretty much just chill, guys. My Escalade, my 1500. Now my 1500, I got 50,000 watts of power in there, two 18-inch sundown DDMs. Yeah, we removed the back seat. Anybody who's into like sound systems, I have two Salt 8K amplifiers strapped to push these 18-inch subwoofers. And then I got about another 10,000 pumping the vocals. That track is a total vibe. A Turbo S, no, my Turbo S, I bought my Turbo S and we modified it, changed the plenum, intercoolers, turbos, pretty much ECU. And it got it over to like 900, almost 1,000 at the wheels. At the wheels. And that's another thing with Porsches, you really don't lose that much power from shaft to wheels. You don't. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at ES really quick. So someone's brought it up, and then I'm gonna get out of here. ES. I mean, yeah. You want to hold, you hold. The system guided you. You maintain your bias with the 200. You wait for the can to close, right? This here, you'd have taken that L if you had waited for the can to close. But we had a continuation. And like I said, this trade design had a proper risk to reward here, right? So you know what you were getting yourself into. Anyways. Oh, no, no. Nearly perfect. I have it jacked up on 35s, 22s and 35s, not 37s. I have a 6-inch left. Yeah. Yeah. Dark ass windows too. Right. I'm getting my white privilege on. That's all I'm doing. Take it easy, guys. Also, anybody who rides, you know, I've definitely gotten into that and just taking it easy with that too. Um, I really enjoy riding a Harley. It's a big bike, 800 pounds. 800 pounds, a big, heavy motherfucker, right? But man, you just chill. You just chill. You go on YouTube and you see like, you know, the hot chicks on the street bikes wearing nothing but a helmet, boobs and thighs and ass out. You're just like, sweetheart, you tip over, asphalt's going to become sandpaper and just grind you down to the bone. You're literally getting round. Oh, it's disgusting. I wear my gear all the time. Yeah, 800 pounds. Yeah, it's like a Cadillac of bikes, man. It's like 800 pounds, 1900 cc's. So I got the Milwaukee is my M8, right? Is 117. So and the scale is third up on the scale 5. So Not quite CBO, but like right up there at 117. Whoa, she's torquing, whole lot of power. Whoa, VTX 1800. Jeez, come on, man. No, 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 no. Because like, when you're riding a bike, it's really, really crazy what happens where you're on a bike and you're literally staring a driver down. They're here. You're coming down. They're here. You're staring at them. But it just doesn't register that you're a moving object. It's wild. It's wild. Like, gotta be careful out there. Probably under cell phones. That's probably what it is. But anyways, I got a street glide. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, street glide and a road glide is pretty much the same thing, honestly. The fairing on the road glide just stays pointed, straight. And the thing for me is like, if I'm turning, I want my headlight to go where I'm turning with the fairing fixed. It's like you have to wait for that light to swing, right? And it's just like I've hit cows, man. I've hit cows. I need to make sure I'm seeing where I'm going. Oh man. Hey guys, we're done here. Cool stream. Love y'all. Peace. Do I end the stream here? What do I do? What do I do?